Bros, Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. Hope you're well. I'm out of focus. Today we've got a mission. We've got to create the perfect fragrance collection with using only clones or inspired buys or dupes or whatever makes you happy. So, you know, some people will be like, bro, this isn't a clone. It's inspired by. It's higher class, dog. It also just makes me feel better to say that. Nice. So that's the mission. We're staying cheap, we're staying greasy, we're not spending that much, but we're smelling good. Gonna try to fit in stuff for every occasion, talking summer, winter, all that stuff. Let's get started. First thing I need in my collection, something I can wear absolutely anywhere. Boom, Supremacy Collector's Edition, bruv. This one, of course, by Offnon. It's gonna get you that absolute Aventus style vibe. And you know as well as I know, that Aventus and Absolute Aventus and Aventus Cologne and everything in the Aventus style, you can wear that stuff whenever you want.
You can be my wingman anytime.
This one is gonna get you that bang for buck. It's also gonna have great performance. It smells fantastic. It's a big compliment puller. So it's a really easy one that you can just throw into your perfect collection and reach for whenever you want. You can wear it to work, you can wear it casually, you can wear it formally, you can wear it on a date. Really doesn't matter. Gotta admit, thought about going with the Club de Nuit Intense, and there's a lot of those, and those would work too for sure. But I had to narrow it down to one. I didn't want multiple Aventus type fragrances in here, which again would be pretty easy to do. So just chopping it down, this one right here, Supremacy Collector's Edition. Also gonna go with this Mirage Absolute French Avenue. So this is it's one of my favorites. I think that this stuff smells fantastic. It's similar to Leighton Exclusive by Parfums de Marly. And for me, this is still the one that I would go for if I were going for, you know, just one singular fragrance in that Leighton Exclusive-ish style. And I know some people might actually hear that and think, oh, that doesn't sound good. I'd rather have Leighton than Leighton Exclusive, because Leighton Exclusive is like a little bit darker, a little bit more animalic, you know, a little bit more potentially divisive than the original. I wouldn't worry too much about this one though, because it's not really exactly Leighton Exclusive. It's actually kind of in between the original Leighton and Exclusive. So the easiest way to think of this one is like Leighton 1.5. You know, it's not all the way over to the Exclusive side, but it's gonna give you a little bit of an extra push compared to just that original Leighton style. Also, ladies, they love this stuff, so we gotta have that. That's gonna be fall, winter, especially date nights and evenings out. Need something for summer right now, so this right here, Rehan Aquatica, which is also a water park in Florida, and it's also a fragrance as well. This bad boy right here smells similar to Virgin Island Water by Creed. So actually 2 out of the first 3 fragrances smell similar to Creed, but don't worry. The rest of these are going different vibes. Maybe we should have saved that one for later, but that's too late now. So yeah, like I said, Virgin Island Water. So it's gonna give you that kind of coconut, beachy, tropical, somewhat boozy vibe. And it's kind of funny that Virgin Island Water has had like a little resurgence, and I've talked about this before, but you know, years back, everybody wanted cheap Virgin Island Water. Like, they go crazy for this stuff. Anything that came remotely close to Virgin Island Water that was cheap, they were like, I'll take a swing, dog.
I've been asking for it for years.
And you'd be like, well, it's 40% similar, and they'd go, close enough, man, I'll take what I can get. It's hard out here right now.
Give me what I want.
And then it kind of like dipped down in popularity for a while and then came roaring back again. You know, as far as like a beachy vacation summertime scent, really, really solid stuff right here. And the best thing about it, anybody can wear it. Age range, pretty much everyone. Younger dudes, older dudes, middle-aged dudes, people who aren't even dudes, they can all wear it. Let's get something that's a little bit classier. Something from Lattafa right here. Lattafa, of course, well known for their classiness. Right? That's actually not a thing. Not really.
Don't ask me dumb questions, man.
This works though. Assad Elixir. So this smells similar to Boss Bottled Absolute, which is a fragrance I absolutely love. I did not mean to make that like corny kind of pun type thing. Not the exact same as Absolute though. It does not have as much patchouli in there. So Boss Bottled Absolute has a much more clearly defined patchouli note, which does make it smell a little bit richer, gives it a little extra boldness, I would say, as well, but this stuff still works really, really nicely. And since this has been out for a little while now, the price on it has dropped because, of course, anything that comes out brand new nowadays from big dupe houses, Middle Eastern houses, they they end up being more expensive at launch. You know, a lot of stores will take pre-orders and stuff like that and charge you more than it's gonna cost a few months down the road. You can get this for close to 30 bucks now, which is a much better deal. Also, because it smells similar to Boss Bottled Absolute, it also smells similar to PDM's Carlisle. So kind of in that style. Let's keep it a little evening centric. Look at this. It's an interesting bottle. I'm gonna butcher the name, but I have to say it this way. Golly Imperial by Zamaya. Just when I see it though, it makes me think of like Southerners, like old Southern mammas or something like, golly, Imperial, nice. Also has a really interesting bottle style, man. It looks like kind of a, what does that look like? Like a vase, like a vase sitting on a little platform. Also, the cap is somewhat weird to pull off because, see, it has this tiny little top piece and you can pull by that, of course, but you know, usually you'd want to kind of grip it down here and it doesn't really grip that well. It looks kind of cool, but it is one of those things that's like more form, less function. Fragrance though, that's what actually matters, not so much the tasseled cap. And what Golly Imperial smells similar to is Dior Homme Parfum, the new version. Always have to make sure to tell people it's the new version because there are a lot of people out there who would really like, you know, the original Dior Homme Parfum done in a really high quality way for cheap, considering it's pretty expensive and just gonna get more and more expensive as time goes on, but that's not the one that people are clamoring for, apparently. Now, one thing that Dior Homme Parfum does do really well, the new one, is it is a great introductory iris fragrance. So when you first spray it on, you do get a big pop of that iris. You get that in here as well. And it does smell good. I'm a big fan of iris and fragrances. The opening to this stuff smells nice. As it dries down, it becomes a more standard fragrance, and I don't mean that in a bad way. What I mean by that is, compared to the original Dior Homme Parfum, it's more in line with like what's popular right now. More of that sweetness, sort of a vanilla ambery vibe, a little bit of musk, a little bit of woodiness. It has kind of a fresh touch to it alongside those sweet notes, and just really easy to wear. Fall, winter, early spring, good daytime fragrance or evening fragrance, at least as far as Dior Homme Parfum is considered a good daytime fragrance, because the original one, that's more for the evenings and more formal occasions. But this would give you a very easy wearing iris fragrance that you can slot in more situations than some of the more intense iris fragrances that I might actually prefer myself. We gotta get back to summertime. How about Drift by Riffs? So this thing right here, this is similar in some ways to Bleu de Chanel Exclusive, but like with a big twist. So the opening here is much, much fresher. And in the first, I would say, few minutes that you spray this on, it kind of smacks you upside the head with a pretty big pop of citrus. So lemon zest and grapefruit in the opening, especially the lemon zest. And then as it dries down, it gets closer to Bleu de Chanel Exclusive, but from the opening through the mid into the dry down, even though it gets closer, it still stays like a fresher take on that style of scent. So basically the easiest way to think of it is taking Bleu de Chanel Exclusive and maintaining part of that classiness and that blue fragrance vibe that that one has, but then making it more of like an everyday wear, freshy kind of version of that. Now, it's not gonna be the closest to Bleu de Chanel Exclusive. So if you want that, there are a couple other ones out there that you could go for that are gonna get more of that vibe. This one is gonna be more, like I said, for like a summer version of that. Bros, the next one you can wear whenever you want. It's one of those Swiss Army knife fragrances. In fact, the bottle's kind of looking like a Swiss Army knife, at least in terms of color. Before that one though, I'm gonna be doing a giveaway in today's video, so stay tuned. And also codes. Here they are, right here, yeah. The JOMASHOP codes, they change every quarter, so make sure that you have the new ones and they only work within the JOMASHOP app. Then I got the 10% off code for Fragflex you can use every single time you shop. There's 10% extra off. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I'll take it. That's weird. Then also, of course, got codes for Fragrance Lord, Perfume Box, Beauty House, and more. The next fragrance, boom! It is Nitro Red. Remember I said Swiss Army knife. They're red, this red is close. Nitro Red basically smelling like Invictus Aqua. If you sprinkled a little fairy dust amount of Baccarat Rouge 540 over the top and then pretended that you could smell it. I mean, sure, it's got like small variations over Invictus Aqua. I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm just saying not a huge, crazy amount of BR 540. Just a little sprinkling, a little flavor. It's like the dish is the Invictus or Invictus Aqua, and then the BR 540, that's like the salt, right? Just put a little over the top, really elevate it. You can wear it whenever you want. Performance is fantastic. Compliment factor is locked in, and the price is low, which is also why it was a crazy hype beast that, in fact, other houses, clone houses, cloned. That's how you know when you got something good. When the clone house clones what you've already cloned, you've made it. Is it clone house? Yeah, good enough. Let's keep the red bottle train rolling right here. Look at this. This is Nusuk Gladius. One thing about this, the reviews are astro-turfed, brother. Like if you go to Fragrantic, I'm gonna do it again. I gotta do this like every time I talk about this fragrance. I'm sorry, it's just like I get so entertained by this. Oh, it's dropped a little. 4.73, so it's dropped a little bit. It was like 4.95 or something like that. And look at this longevity, oh my God. Whoa, it's the longest lasting fragrance of all time. Yes, my phone is about to die, don't judge me. So yeah, take those reviews with a big grain of salt, but the fragrance itself is actually pretty good. Smells like a Zaro Forever Wanted Elixir, the all gold bottle, which is over here somewhere behind me. Am I pointing in the right spot? Can you see it? It's over there. I don't think you can actually see it, actually.
You're so stupid!
But yeah, it smells like Forever Wanted Elixir, but with some changes. So this one to me has more raspberry off the top. Like when you first spray this one on, big blast of raspberry. So yeah, more fruity than Forever Wanted Elixir, especially off the rip. Really sweet, very attention grabbing. And then of course, as it dries down, more of that leather comes out. Gonna be kind of like a spring, early spring, fall, wintertime fragrance. Good daytime or evening for me. And because I like it, got another one to give away. So we'll do that in a little bit. For now, how about another red friggin' bottle, Hawas Fire. So with Hawas Fire, this is gonna slot into that anytime, anywhere, any place column or category. So I'm kind of lumping that one in over here with Supremacy Collector's Edition. This one's been compared to Gisa Imperial Valley. Really solid performance, great versatility, big compliment factor, the whole 9 yards. I know it's kind of easy right now to look at the entire Hawas lineup as just a meme because there's so many of them and they just keep coming. They're like, they won't stop. But if you go back to when Fire came out, this one people just absolutely loved, got a ton of hype, and it still works really, really well. So that one, I would toss that into the collection easily. Let's go a little bit classier with this next one, Faris Al Arab. This is also for fall and winter, more of an evening scent. Smells similar to Blonde Amber. This one is, of course, Maison Israr. Really good quality with this. It has kind of a boozy aspect to it, especially when you first spray it on. Blah, blah. Nice, sweet, rich, a little bit ambery as well. Definitely stands out. Smells much more expensive than it costs, which makes sense because again, it smells similar to a Clive Christian. Not the exact same, but a really nice alternative to that one. Get you like 85% of the way there or something like that. One of the better ones from Maison Israr, and definitely gonna be leaning more niche than pretty much everything else up here. Definitely has more of that one-off type scent, where somebody smells it and they're like, oh, I've never smelled that before. Not that that matters a huge amount, but Let's put this one next. It's Mykonos Conquer. It's got the same kind of cracked glass going on. So Conquer smells similar to Myself Absolute, which basically with that, once again, whenever you want. You could say maybe it leans spring, summer, daytime, whatever, but really that's an all year fragrance. It's another one that's a huge compliment puller. Myself Absolute is crazy, crazy popular, and lots and lots of different brands right now are coming out with versions that smell similar to that, or their version of that, I should say. And I'm not saying this is the only good one, because there are a lot of good ones out there. This one though is one of the best, I would say, pretty comfortably. It's an extrait de parfum, pretty good performance, of course, from that. It was a massive pain in the butt to find, but thankfully now, knock on wood, they're available at Beauty House, so I mean you can find them again. I say again because they popped up before at other stores and then gone away, and then it was like the only place you could get them was eBay for stupid prices, which I've talked about before, so I won't harp on that. The Elixir Demeter, you gotta have this. This is for spring and summer. For me, leaning more springtime. Of course, the bottle's all green, so they're kind of like telling you what it's for anyway, I guess, just by that. And this one is an unholy minty green bomb of a fragrance. It smells similar to Torino 21. I can taste it. Nice. I'm just playing, don't do that. Oh, shit. That was stupid. Now, I know Torino 21 has been crazy hyped, and there are a bunch of alternatives for that one out there, but it is one of those scents where I go like, the whole year not smelling it, like beginning of summer almost through beginning of spring. I just don't really reach for it. So then when it comes back around to spring and I smell it again, I'm like, That's awesome. Then I just wear it a few times through the springtime, get it out of my system, and then forget about it again. That way when it comes back around, it smells awesome again. It's fantastic. It's the best. You should do that too. As is usual with most Elixir fragrances, quality is absolutely killer. Same deal with Mykonos, actually. Beauty House, basically that's the spot to go. I think they might be the only spot, unless you want to, like I said, get ripped off on eBay. Yay! Enigma Un! That's the correct way to say this. This one is basically Fragrance World's version of Assad. It smells similar to Sauvage Elixir. Got that squeaky plastic bottle. Love that, nice. Can I get more squeak out of that? A lot of times it is not quite as cheap as Assad, but it's pretty close. I don't really like the atomizer. I don't know if you saw that. It does like a shotgun kind of spray where it goes extremely wide and like really close in to where you spray it. So I don't know if that comes across on camera or not. You just have to trust me, I guess. It's not the worst atomizer. I'm just saying I wish it had a nice pressurized atomizer. Like this Mykonos. Woo! Needs a magnetic cap though. Actually, I've been seeing a complete dearth of magnetic caps lately. Brands need to get back on that. In terms of quality, I have this one just as good as Assad, if not actually better. Performance is really good on this as well, so you don't have to worry about that. Flies under the radar, looks pretty cheap, honestly, but smells awesome. We got two more. I'm gonna give them to you 2-for-1 style. Do they have anything to do with each other? No, but they are both hybrids, so I guess kind of. Dunescape and Lutfa, Light in the Heart. Armaf, Arabia Prestige. Armaf has been hitting us with some of those duos, some magnificent hybridizations here lately, like Spartacus, actually, which that bottle is slightly more upsetting, unsettling. Unsettling, not upsetting. Or maybe it is upsetting. It's a dude with his arms chopped off with a tiny little helmet head. Whatever. This one's cool. This one's got a sandcastle. So Dunescape, this is gonna remind you mainly of Y Eau de Parfum by YSL, of course. But then it's also got a little Louis Vuitton action in there. A little bit of this like afternoon swim sort of thing going on alongside that Y. Just makes for a fantastic summertime scent. This stuff smells really, really nice. It does have that balance of fresh and sweet that works so well. It's got pretty nice performance also, so Dunescape, that stuff is good, real freaking good. And then Lutfa, Light in the Heart. This one is a little bit more understated as far as the bottle goes. This one smells like a mix of PDM's Altair, which is the main aspect of the fragrance, and then also a little bit of MFK's Grand Soir mixed in. So you get a little bit of the best of both worlds. You get that kind of gourmand action, you get the rich ambery aspect from the MFK. Absolutely killer for fall and winter, especially date nights or nights out. Really, really attention grabbing. And under the radar more than something like Liquid Brun, which is also really, really, really good. And you could absolutely go for that one, no questions asked. This one's just a little bit lesser known. Like I said, a little more under the radar, but still right in that wheelhouse. So it's gonna do the same things, just with a little extra flair. I guess I should have probably put in like a Kamra or something. Honorable mention. All these Kamra fragrances. Kamra Kloa, Kamra Dukan, Samaya, Sharaf Blend, Royal Blend Nero by French Avenue. There are many fragrances in this style. Pick your favorite. All right, giveaway time right here. It is a packaged up fragrance that is this fragrance, except in the package. Amazing. If you want to be entered in the giveaway, just like the video, be subscribed to the channel, leave me a comment. In the comment for this one, just tell me what clone fragrance, Middle Eastern fragrance, dupe fragrance, inspired by fragrance, whatever you want to call it, you would put into your fragrance collection, your perfect collection, the first one you'd go for. I'll pick a winner with random comment picker, post it up on the post tab of the YouTube channel. If you're the winner, hit me up, I'll ship that out to you. Thank you guys for hanging with me. Stay safe out there, take care of yourselves. See you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.